Oh, nope, I didn't print any.
All right,
I don't
I'll
think
have to
there's
read them
any
off
there.
the board.
We'll just go off the board.
Yep. All right.
So you know we're recording. That way the other coaches who don't come can actually see it.
Yeah, not unless we want to hand them out. Yeah. So,
Yeah, I forgot to print.
yeah.
Slacking in my old age, man. Just so you know.
It's all right. We all get old once in a while. I'll be there someday.
Tired. Been a long few weeks.
Yeah.
So that's for sure.
Yep. Well, you want to get going, or you want a few more minutes for people to show up?
I don't think anybody else is coming.
I don't think so either. So.
Plenty of teams, but there's a few of them that haven't come to meetings, and I can't tell you how many years from the time they've been around. So then you have St. Paul and Flint Hill, so depending on what division you're in, so they won't be here. So she's going to print them.
Yeah, she's gonna print
I'll
some
worry.
rules, and you guys copy the rules. You guys all played here before, right?
Yeah, go
All
ahead.
right. So I don't need to go through the spiel about the league, who we are, what we do, how we work. Okay.
Thank you.
Makes me easy. Now it's all up to you.
No, I don't really either. So I guess we're all moving from 7U to 8U, right? Few changes. He's been out, checked the rules online. They haven't changed. So not saying we'll kind of go through them.
Yeah. Yeah, if you played AU in the fall, then you're pretty much familiar with how you're going to play in the spring. So
Right. Yep.
we'll cover kind of where they're supposed to be calling the dead ball, and
Yeah, mainly big difference for you all is that it ain't going to be dead when it comes in. So when that ball comes in, it's still a live ball. So they got to get it back to the pitcher or an attempt to the area of the pitcher.
You guys get it to the infield and then hold your hands up?
No, when the ball comes in,
Yeah.
it's up to your players
Okay.
to either
to
make a
that-
play or
make a
get it to the
play
pitcher.
or get it to your pitcher.
We're saying it's live until they pick it up and throw it
Yeah.
toward the pitcher.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, if it comes in the infield
We
and laying on
prefer
the
you to
infield,
try and
nobody
make a
picks it
play.
up. It's game on. So
Yeah, so
In the fall, there was confusion about
Yeah.
it. The umpires weren't
Well,
sure.
yeah, it was the umpires that were confused.
So
Yeah.
it was like the coaches would always just agree before a game or before the game.
yeah, well, you know, the problem you run into is the umpires, you know, they're doing both. And then you have some of them, then the coaches, not saying that any of you do that, but we teach the umpires one thing, and then by the time the coaches are done with them after 3 ball games, they have no idea what they're doing on that part of it. So, yeah, it always makes it hard when you add a machine in and you're not playing regular ball. So, but in the end, you know, it's more about making plays now. So,
Yeah.
right?
she didn't give us a set of rules.
Gave everybody but us rules. No.
So,
Oh, yeah, I know them like back of my hand because I love machine pitch. It's my fault. I should have had them printed. Totally forgot. So we can look back.
yeah. So right off the bat, the first thing you guys is you're going to hour-and-a-half ball game instead of an hour drop dead. So basically, it's the timer set for an hour 25. Timer goes off. You complete that. Batter in the box completes his or her bat, and if you have a chance of winning or tying the game, then you continue to play. But if you're the home team and you're down by 10 runs, and you've got 1 out, and the other team is, and you have no hope because of run limits of actually tying or winning the game, then as soon as that batter's done, then the game's over after that timer goes off. That's one of the big differences.
I can't name a single 8U game that's taken
Yeah.
the full hour and a half.
Usually
Most of the
by
time
hour
you'll
10,
get all
hour
your-
15, everybody's
Most of
done.
the time you'll get
5
all your
innings.
innings in.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
I mean, you get an hour and a half to play, but you don't really need an hour and a half.
Yeah.
You know, you could almost play a 9-inning ball game. Machine pitch, you know. So. Right?
Yeah. Of course, the max runs per inning is the same. It's still 5 runs per inning or 3 outs, whichever occur first. You need to have 8 players to start and continue the game, where the 7U and 6U you could do it with 6 players. The other big difference is on the 5th pitch, if it's fouled off, they continue swinging. So before it was 5 pitches and you're done no matter what. This, if you foul the 5th one off, keep going until the ball's put in play or they miss.
But they could also strike out.
They can also strike out. Yeah, you could get 3 pitches and swing it all 3 and you're done. So I mentioned that. Still same thing, no bunting. If the batter squares around a bunt, it's a dead ball and they're out. That's the same. Base runners can't leave until the ball is hit. That's the same rule. That one didn't change either. No infield fly rule.
Now you can advance.
Yeah, I'll let you cover that one. You
One
explain that one
base on
better
an
than I do.
overthrow. It's not home. So before they throw to first, goes by the first baseman, and go to 1. That's it. You got a runner on first and second. Naturally, you know, you can't advance. If you got somebody on third, you can only just fill the bases. Can't pull it all the way in.
So if there's runner, this would another thing to run through. If there's first and second, or there's a runner on first, and they hit the ball, and then they overthrow first base, can both runners advance then?
Right.
Okay.
One
I
base.
totally know that, yeah.
One base.
So then it would end up being second and third.
Right. But now you got a runner on first and third.
Yeah,
Okay. And there's nobody's going anywhere.
right,
Yeah. Runner at third stays there. So.
yeah.
We've had that problem too. I think that was, didn't you guys actually?
Guy on
Yeah,
first,
I've
come
ran
back
into
in
that
second.
situation a couple of times, they told us we couldn't run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
No.
they told us the throw was to first base, so then the guy on second, the kid on second couldn't go to third.
No.
Yeah.
It all holds up at third,
Yeah.
basically.
Play made on the runner at third.
Pretty much anybody can advance just one base, just can't advance home, no matter if somebody at second or not.
Yeah, the idea is just not to clear the bases on an overthrow. You know, I mean, that's
Otherwise,
the whole
it'll be a
key.
merry-go-round.
Yeah. Same thing, dead ball when it touches the pitching machine or generator. If the ball touches you, an umpire or a parent, when it's hit, it's still considered a live ball. That didn't change. Really, everything else is the same, isn't it, Rod?
Yeah, we limit defense. You only got one coach.
In the outfield.
That's it on defense. So, in the outfield, not halfway hit. Hey, I was just as bad with my grandson, Steve, you know. You kind of end up kind of migrating in closer to the infield, you know, and everything. But umpires bring game balls naturally. If you all have already played 7U, you already know how the machines work. You already know distance and everything. You already know that depending on the weather, sometimes they run great, sometimes they don't. One thing we didn't do is bring the machine up. Show
Yeah, I
you.
forgot to grab it.
Tim
Probably.
wanted to talk to you all about problems with the valve.
Yeah, probably 90% of the calls I had last year to go out to the field because the generator stopped running is there's a vent on top of the gas cap. And usually that ends up getting closed off because we usually leave it open. Rod will make sure it's open, but sometimes you'll get out there. It could be a kid during the day between when they set it out and it goes out, they'll close that valve off. Well, it creates a vacuum in that gas tank, so it'll run for 3, 4, 5 minutes and all of a sudden it just quits.
Or start sputtering.
Yeah, start sputtering, and all I do is I usually go out and open the valve up, pull it a couple of times, and it's off and running. Or somebody has shut the fuel shut off, and it quits running. That was probably 90% of the calls I had last year. I did have one new generator that we had some problems with, that one of the wires came loose on the inside, that it was genuinely a problem, but most of the time it's just fuel issues. Either it's off or that valve was shut. Or they didn't turn it on. It wouldn't start, flooded it out. But I usually hang around long enough to make sure everything's running before I run over to the other park or run and get some dinner. So I try to make sure everything's good before I leave the park at 6. Run over to Ozzy. What else you got for him? We covered the ball comes into the infield. It's still a live ball until it's picked up and a player decides what they're doing with it, either making a play or getting back to the vicinity of the pitcher.
So if they throw it to our pitcher and our pitcher can't catch, is that line still count? Just like
Yeah, I mean, if they're making a genuine attempt to get it back to the pitching position,
Then it'll just get killed.
then it'll get killed. Yeah, yeah.
Should.
Yeah, they don't have to catch the ball. I mean, if your kid throws it and it's an obvious attempt to get it back to them, I mean, we'll consider it a dead ball. I mean,
Ideally, you want to get them to all start making plays.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
so much throwing it back to the pitcher, because then they're not gaining anything by the time you go in and nine you, because that's not going to happen. So, we had to throw that in there because you're still dealing with the whole machine thing. So it's a totally different scenario, you know. But otherwise, no.
yeah, make sure your lineup cards are filled out all the way. First name, last name, player, number. It's still the same.
Coaches, anybody you have coaching, whether they're in the dugout or on the field, make sure they're registered and background checked. Federal government put regulations in now, so due to the U.S. gymnastics. So
Do they have to come up here to do that?
no, they can do that online.
Do all that
Basically,
online.
when they log into their account, if they're coaching with you,
Yeah.
they log into their account, they click Coach Volunteer,
Oh,
and put in the same code as their players were. But bottom line is, what it comes down to is, if they're not, if you got them out on the field and they're not background checked through us, then if for some reason they have something in their past you don't know about,
right.
and it comes to fruition with you, then you don't fall under the OCAC umbrella. I mean, you hate to talk about that, but that's
Right.
basically
It is a real life thing though, but it's unfortunate. And now that the government got involved with it, I mean, it's easier on us because we're a local league. If we were, multi-state or international, there's a lot more regulations that they're mandating on youth organizations now, so.
And that's just for now.
Yeah.
Until the states get involved.
Yeah.
So typically your states will end up following whatever the federal government's doing, right?
Yeah, so we always try to make an attempt to stay with everything or just ahead of all the different things that are coming out, just for the safety of the kids and the liability of the league, so.
Yeah, and it's one of those things. I think we've probably had, out of all the background
Oh,
checks
yeah.
already, maybe two
Two
that
that-
popped
yeah.
anything, and when they did, it was, it wasn't anything related to.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and explain to everybody, they're good for 2 years.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not like you're.
I think I played 5 years.
Yeah,
But that was like,
yeah,
how old was it, 3?
yeah,
I
so.
think it was 3.
Yeah, the system will flag you if you're due for a background check again. It'll flag you that you need to do it again. So if it didn't flag you, then I wouldn't worry about it.
No problem.
So
If not, Teresa will hunt you down.
yeah,
But otherwise, that's about it
yeah,
on the rules. Exciting stuff. We're not here to keep you all night, by no means. We've been here every night for 2 weeks now, another night tomorrow night, 2 days next week, and every Saturday with umpires. So we'll do our best. Any of you that played fall, we'll do our best to get the umpires ready for the 8U. Have a little patience with them, especially if they're flipping between the two. I think the worst thing we had was the ones that were actually going from
9U player pitch down
9U
to
player bits back down to 8U.
Yeah.
Is where we had the
Yeah.
biggest problems. So
Yeah, we had to call you that one time.
love to give you all adults on there, but
All at one time, it was-
we can't afford it.
it was also before the age.
yeah,
And I knew what he was doing. I'm like, dude, we are 8.
yeah,
He's like, no. I had to call you on that one.
Yeah.
This guy
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. If you have a problem, make sure you let us know.
Yeah.
Okay, you looked in the
Really.
money, so
I mean, don't keep it,
yeah, yeah.
don't keep it to yourselves or anything. Like just said he got a hold of me, let me know. Yeah, if you have a problem, let us know so we can take time, contact the umpires, tell them what was wrong. We've expanded now, like this meeting's being recorded. We're going to do a live stream with the umpires for rules next week, so we have the capability of reaching everybody at any time. So it doesn't do any good if you don't tell us, because then we can't fix it. And most of the time, like you all say, well, we knew we had problems, so we just, as coaches, we work it out at ground rules.
Yeah.
But if you let us know, then we can try to fix the problem.
Yeah, because typically if you let Rod know or just get him an email or something, then the next day he'll let me know. Since if I'm going up to the park and I see that umpire up there, hey, so-and-so's working tonight, can you, he was doing this last night, can you say something to him? And usually, if they're there, I'll say something to them, hey, we had a problem last night, this is how you were calling it, and you should have been calling it this way. And we try to correct them as fast as we can, but if we don't hear about it, we can't do anything.
Right.
And sometimes you tell them what you need to tell them, and it goes in one ear and out the other because they think they're right anyhow. So, but we do make an attempt. So.
And I know all the rules say no composite bats. We all know they're going to be out there, so you might as well just get it out of the way and just realize that they're going to be there, and there's no guarantee that a 14-year-old, 15-year-old kid's going to know the difference, no matter what we teach them, between a composite bat or not.
Yeah.
So.
As hard as we try to keep it, it's just almost an impossible rule to enforce out there. So
Yeah.
With the composite bat?
yeah, that's a hard thing to.
So we can't get away with it?
I didn't. You're totally misinterpreting what I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, it's in the rules, but we've had it in the rules for years, and we know they're out there, but we can't stop it. I mean, there's nothing other than me or Rod actually going out on the field and walking through the dugout and taking all the bats away and keeping them till the end of the year.
Yeah, honestly, I had
Yeah.
a return as Christmas present.
Yeah.
It was composite bat. His dad ordered it online, and it was composite. I said, man.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
What about you?
Really? I said,
My grandson is a skinny thing, you know what I mean? And I had to go with an alloy, and he's long-legged, right? So I can't get the right weight and everything for him. I'd love to go composite, but I can't because I work for the league, and I'm on the board. But otherwise, I probably would, because it'd be a lot easier for him to swing it. The problem is they pop so hard.
So if
You
it
know,
does
so-
come up and during a game, and we, address it with the coach saying, hey,
So
are
what
we
he's
gonna
saying
use
is, if I
composite?
use it, another coach comes out and says, wait a minute, he's got a composite bat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't want to have an argument in the middle of a game over a composite
Right.
bat.
Let us know, and we'll go back around and have a conversation with the coach
Or just,
or whoever.
Just
But
put it back in the dugout and don't use it.
I guess what I'm trying to point out, I went through it last year with my grandson's 7U.
right,
And there was a few teams out there, I could tell every time the bat was swung, I knew whether it was a composite.
right, absolutely.
You know what I
Just
mean?
by the sound of it.
Yeah, and there's a few teams not playing here right now simply because I got into arguments with them over it.
So what?
Because
what are we
I knew
playing,
it and I told them.
national? We're playing like what are the
National
levels?
or I don't know.
It's national or American.
So national's the highest.
Well, it's one of those things. It's going to come down.
So,
I don't even like to say you get the highest or
Right.
the lowest. That's really not.
But it's whether or not, the teams that we're facing are gonna be competitive, and if they're gonna use those bats, then I don't, it's no big deal.
Yeah.
So I don't want to have, a discussion in the middle of the game.
Yeah.
It's no big deal.
Could it happen? I'm just
Right.
throwing it out there, letting you know it's probably going to happen.
It is.
I would be surprised if it doesn't, because you'll have coaches that don't check
Yeah.
what their parents are buying and everything
Right.
else. The dangerous part is it depends on how observant you got your kids,
Yeah,
because
it does.
that's
It
the
comes down to
dangerous
that.
part. Them balls come off them composite bats hot.
Yeah.
Period. We seen what? 8 kids torquing them over the fence over there on
Yeah,
G
to
and F.
the warning track anyhow.
The warning track, G
On
and
C,
F
yeah.
in tournaments.
Yeah, it's.
I guarantee you, that child was swinging an aluminum bat, that ball would be going to the warning track. So, they're designed for that.
Right.
Then you add into the fact of, the hard baseball off of it.
Off the machine that's.
That's the only reason why we've always had that in place, is just for concerns, safety of
Yeah.
the players. Because if they're not paying attention,
No.
And especially at the younger, your first year 7U, 8U, they got a little more, they're getting a little more alert and everything, but 7U, I mean, most of them are out there doing twirlies and worried about the helicopter flying by and everything else going on, and you can get hurt, man. That's not a soft ball at all. So I hated to bring it up, but I always have to, just because.
Yeah, I mean, we always try to do our best to keep them out, but I know it's a losing battle.
But I tell you what, if you buy the right alloy,
Right.
Yeah,
that's the
They're
right
just as
length
good,
in there,
yeah.
and you get the same pop.
yeah.
My grandson's doing that now, so he can finally swing it. Just didn't have the weight, a little bit heavier than you can get away with on that composite. So. I won't say nothing. But 5U, it don't matter. That's a softy ball.
That's a softy ball,
He
yep.
was swinging a composite 5U, but it didn't make a difference.
Yeah, yeah. Or softball, because they use a softy in the softball machine
Right.
too, so it don't
Right.
make a difference there. Yeah.
So anyway, coaches, lineup sheets. I think that's everything there.
Yeah, scorecards, or scorebooks. Teresa will have those for you, scorebooks and lineup sheets.
Lineup sheets and everything. So if you need equipment, see us over here. If you don't need catcher gear, you'll just pick up your stuff and head out the door. Again, if you got any, we're not here to keep you all night. If you got any questions, now's the time to ask. If you run into problems, make sure you call us.
Schedules.
We'll do it. Actually, barring any complications, I'm going to be turning them things on tomorrow.
All right, cool.
So we had a 29th late, but everything kind of went together.
Yeah, the season starts week April, yeah.
April 8th. So
Yep.
I want to get it out to everybody as soon as possible. So that way the parents quit calling Teresa. Oh, ain't the schedule's out yet. Well, we were taking teams up till last week, just so you know. So.
Was that what I do? Tell the parents, just call Teresa?
Yep.
Yeah, just tell the parents.
You want a direct extension?
Hey, that's on video now too.
Call Teresa.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, remember, you guys been around, pick up bases if your last game, the home team last game. I think you guys are all on field too, right? For the most part.
Yeah.
On that field, just throw them in the dugout, not in the middle of the field, because we leave those out because the dugouts are covered. So I mean, that helps me out a lot, or whoever's up there doing board duty. So
We'll send a reminder out to all your parents and the whole league about their notifications. There'll be quite a few out there that don't have them turned on. So, make sure your notifications on your account's turned on. When you first log in, it tells you on the right side whether you have them turned on or not. That's pretty important when it comes to rainouts, anything of that nature. And the same way with, this year we're going to start documenting the season. We're going into the 60 year next year.
yeah, next year will be 60 years
So
for
we're going to
us.
start, that's why we're recording all this now, and we're going to start at the ballparks, taking pictures, videos, things of that nature. So,
You'll see Rod run around on a golf cart live streaming.
yeah,
hopefully.
live streaming. So, yeah, it's scary. They don't want to see my ugly face, but it is what it is. And then, so we'll try and remind everybody, hook up with on Facebook, Instagram, whatever. That's where we'll be putting everything. So, but otherwise,
There are two divisions, right? Is there an American?
yeah, there are
Yeah,
two.
8 total,
So,
you got 4 and 4.
well, no, there was 11 total.
11.
Two of them we don't count. I shouldn't say that. It's not that we don't count. We don't count as our teams when it comes to the meetings. That's Flint Hill and St. Paul. So I think there was 11, right, Teresa? And then 9 is ours. So, yeah. And I think it's fairly. No,
No.
Josephville doesn't have. Josephville, actually, their 8U boys team, they only had one team this year, and they went through Flint Hill. I think that's Wilmus's team. I think the split looks pretty good to me, so we'll see. Basically, you know how that works, so we'll see how everything pans out, and then come next year we split, based off of how you all fall. So
Going into 9U.
you had a great year. Yeah, I don't count fall. Usually, unless you're a new team that comes in from somewhere. So like you all had a great summer in the American, right? So you were naturally going.
We're in that.
No, you were in America. You were in American last spring. Yeah. Yeah. so you naturally had to go up to national. So it's pretty much a cut and dry. If you're a 500 team, unless you come to us and say, hey, you know, like next year you come to us and say, hey, you know what, I know we're going 9U, and I was in the American division, we were only 500, and I picked up 3 lights out pitchers, so I want to go national. If you stay around the 500 mark, you know, you're going to stay. Otherwise, we flip. So if we anybody in the bottom division, somebody in the top from the other division, you know, we move them. So pretty much cut and dry. I'd love to trust y'all, honestly, but
Yeah.
it's easier to make it cut and dry.
We went 12-0, but I lost all my pitching
I lost
and 6
all
of my
my
players. So
pitching,
drop me
so-
down to American this year.
Yeah.
And then we see the same roster get put back in as the year previous year. So
Yeah.
that's never happened.
Yeah. Hardest part's been what you call the rec level club teams coming in now. You know, it's hard to put them wherever. So, kind of looking forward to just getting started. I'm ready for 70, 80 degree weather, sunshine, ball and the whole bit. All right,
Yeah,
I'm done. I'm over here
You
rambling now.
done ranting?
I ain't been ranting. Teresa tells me if I rant. I ask her if I do.
Yeah, so I mean, unless you guys got some questions, and we're done. So, yep.
Anybody need gear? Catcher gear?
I do.
All right.